Hello everyone and welcome back. Meat Department here. I'm so glad you could join me for another video today. So we are in the land of giants. That's right, Giant Simulator. And today we are doing the traditional player suggestions for March 2021. So what these are your actual suggestions, one that you have placed in the Mithril Games official Discord. I will have the link to Mithril Games Discord in the description below. That is where all of these suggestions have been derived from. I have made some tweaks and to fix errors and all that, grammatically and spelling and for presentation purposes, but all of these suggestions are from actual players like you, right from the Discord. Again, these are all taken directly from Mithril Games Discord, and the link is in the description below. So we have about 12 today, and there are some good ones to add to the collection. So what I will do is give my thoughts and opinions on them, whether or not I approve or disapprove them in the game. Now, it doesn't mean that my opinion means anything. I'm just a gamer like you, and I'm just stating my opinion on your actual suggestions. Ultimately, these are taken and reviewed by the management and development team for Mithril Games, and anything that's implemented or not is their sole discretion and decision. So just know that these are just my opinions and we're just having fun. So today we are in the face of Borak on the Giant Sim Nub. If you've been with me, you knew I started this guy during the winter event. So that's why he was lucky enough to land a Yeti. Pretty sick. I'm just messing around on him for the time being while I read through these suggestions, get a feel for this guy. So let's jump right in to today's suggestions. So, number 1, make a setting to turn off the XP and gold ticks on the screen. So we all know what those are. It's these bad boys right here on the bottom. As you see, pop up the gold, the XP, it even pops up the speed and all that stuff when you do acquire it. There you go, there's some speed. So, I think this is a pretty fair and reasonable suggestion, is to clean up the UI a little bit and, in the settings, just have an option to toggle on these if you want. So just show XP gains or whatever they want to call it. Toggle it on or off. Sometimes when you are recording certain things, you don't want those pop-ups all the time, or you're trying to take screenshots, it gets in the way, or maybe you just don't want to show it. So, it's not a bad thing. So that's a pretty good option. I think it would be fair to add it, but we'll see. So I'm just going to go ahead and approve that because it does have its purposes, I think. So great suggestion on that one. So moving on to number 2, a map selector to choose between all the previous main maps. So obviously we have yet another new map that I am in today. It's with this awesome castle and the castle walls, the big town, this big mountain going into it, and a bunch of different regions around it. Desert, volcanic, grass, mushroom, snow. It's pretty cool, and I really like it. We also have the portals on the inside. If you see, right over there somewhere in the middle, down this way. So you can go fight Borak. You can go to the temple or to the winter outpost. So that is pretty cool. But why not add a selector or expand the game even more by allowing us to go back to the previous map, which introduced, the cave and the long, narrow, grassy and desert areas, or the original one, which I know a lot of people liked as well. I think that's a pretty cool idea, or maybe for like a retro event or something, to allow maybe portals to go into those or something like that, or maybe to even be able to increase the actual server size itself. I think it would be cool actually to have mega servers on Giant Simulator to have more than 15 players. Certainly it would help for when we as content creators do live stream and all that, to get more of you in there. But I guess it just depends on where the population ultimately condenses with that. So I think it's a cool idea. Maybe an option for an event or something to, toggle or visit some of the retro maps and stuff like that. I think that's a cool thing to keep on the back of your head. So I'm going to go ahead and approve that because that's a pretty cool suggestion. So the next one up, number 3, add achievements for rewards. We've heard this one before, and I did agree last time, and you know what? I still think it's a pretty good idea just to add achievements. Whether that be badges, achievements, daily. Well, we kind of have daily rewards when you do log in. Actually, those are freebies. And, for a freebie, that's pretty good. But I think maybe weekly achievements or something like that. maybe not promote killing, even though there's a kills tracker and all that stuff, get 1,000 kills a week. It would cause a lot of slaughter and make people certainly go on in the world. But who knows? Maybe pick up 10,000 orbs or complete 100 quests, whatever the case may be. It could be a challenging and require a decent grind, but at the end, you have a whole week to complete it and you get a pretty epic reward for doing so. I don't think that's a bad idea. I think that's a great idea. Achievements and weekly achievements and stuff like that, more of a long, short-term goal. So it's a week long, so it is pretty long, but it's a short-term goal overall. Great suggestion. I approve that. I think that's a good one. Definitely. Number 4, make both bosses have a 0.1% chance to drop any mythic. So as we know, in one of the most recent updates, mythic weapons were introduced to the game. They are found in the pink portal up here in the temple. You see the Demon King up there. We have the temple items for purchase here. We have the pets, of course, and the skins, and now the new weapons. These cost 50 million gold. That's a lot. So give it a 0.1% chance to drop off of the Demon King, maybe. And maybe even Borak. Wouldn't that be a nice surprise? Because honestly, the stuff that Borak drops are legendaries. They've been in the game forever. You still have a 1% chance to get those. Why not make it even harder to get something that's a little fresh as well? And the Demon King, he really just gives soul gems and he doesn't even fight back. So adding loot to him, that's questionable. But I certainly think it has potential for down the road to improve the chances to get mythics. And it's such a small percent chance. If someone's lucky enough to get it, grats to them, to be honest. Pretty good stuff. So I approve that suggestion. Number 4, pretty solid. Let's move on. Number 5, make the arena decrease in size with time running out, so people don't run away all the time. So this happens all the time. You've seen it in my videos. When we're in the arena, it's like, it doesn't matter if I'm on my main character and I have like 5 trillion speed, like actually have 5 trillion speed against someone that's like level 100,000 and probably has 500 million speed, let's just say. It doesn't matter. The arena, it's like we're all normalized and squished down to basically nothing stats, and they can just run. They can just run and you could chase them and never catch up. So I think, imagine the circle actually just hit my bike, actually gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So you're kind of confined in an area where even if you run, chances are you're going to get hit by the stronger person. That's a cool idea, to be honest with you. I really like that, because in the arena, we should be in there to fight, not to play games every single time. I agree with that. Good suggestion, number 5. Suggestion number 6, can you please add shiny pets? Oh, this is a big one. This is a big one. This has been a hot topic, actually. This one's definitely been a hot topic. I've seen a lot of suggestions and discussion about this. So, shiny pets is something that seems like is more favorable than not. And right now, the best pets we have are the temple pets, with the bully being the best. And basically, shiny pets would let you combine, X amount of pets together or whatever the system is to create a shiny. Maybe it's not even combining. Maybe you just have a small chance to actually unlock a shiny. It doesn't always have to be combined. You don't know how the shiny system will work. The reason people associate shiny with combining is because across the way there we have artifacts, and these artifacts do actually have an evolution system. I can bring up my menu. And the evolution system does allow you to take 5 of the same artifact and actually evolve it. And then it has the Evo 1 indicator, and it turns shiny. As you see, it's kind of shining every so often. There's a shine. It says Evolutions 1. But that's kind of the idea people have with pets, right? If you have a mass amount of pets, like I have 5 of these Arctic foxes, maybe there'll be an evolution button and I can combine them all to make them shiny. It would boost the stats, give you something more to collect, and certainly a lot more to collect. And the collecting aspect of this game, I think, is one of the great things about it. So I'm going to approve that. I haven't been really in favor of shiny pets months ago, and if you've seen my other suggestion videos, you know that. But that was when we started this. It was still during the winter event, and I thought coming at that time was a little bit too soon with the power gain we're getting from the winter event. But as time goes on, I think shiny pets being introduced at some point is probably a fun and great thing for the game. So I'm actually all in for it now at this point. I think it'll be fun. So I approve number 6. Great suggestion on that. Moving on to 7 of 12. Add another artifact evolution. Well, here we are. We basically just already talked about it. And, you know, the artifacts right here. We have the 100,000, 10,000, 1,000 varieties. And basically, just add another evolution, which means if you have 5 evolution 1, you can combine those to make an evolution 2, which would bring these stats up double. So basically, to explain it in a nutshell, the very first non-evolved version of Mask of the Watcher gives 5.5 stats to all coins, soul gems, and quest points. See, right here. If I had 5 of these and click the evolve button, it would make it shiny. And it would now call it evolution 1 and doubles the stats all to 11, 11, 11. So now if I farmed even more and grinded and got a whole bunch more of Mask of the Watchers, for example, and I combined 5 of these evolution 1, it would make the stats 22, 22, 22. Basically, that's it. I think that's probably inevitable and down the road, so I approve this because it will happen. It will probably happen. Moving on to number 8. Add leaderboards for coins and soul gems, which can be current or total. So this is pretty cool. This is something I've actually personally been thinking about quite a lot. I think more leaderboards should be introduced to the game. Ones that are a little bit more relevant, again, to the Giant Simulator we know now in modern day. So Giant Simulator actually turns 2 years old today, March 22nd. So March 22nd, 2019 is when the game was introduced, and that was 2 years ago. So happy birthday to you, Giant Simulator. Happy birthday. So it's been 2 years, and the leaderboards have all been the same for the past 2 years. I know they've been added slowly on since the beginning, but I didn't really play at the very beginning, so I'm not quite sure. But I can just say long enough that I know there's highest levels, quest points, there's rebirths, and what is the last one? Always drawing a blank here. Arena wins. There we go. So those are solid. Why not add more leaderboards for current coins, current soul gems, or maybe just total collected? Doesn't have to be current. Something like that. You know, that's kind of a fun thing. I think the more leaderboards, the better. Maybe instead of having more specific with coins and soul gems, because maybe that's just too average and common. Maybe throw in some weekly or monthly leaderboards. Honestly, I think weekly is kind of cool. Monthly will work just as well. Basically, just have monthly, you know, highest levels and maybe something else. So people can actually have, you know, long-term goals for like a week or a month and actually have a chance to get on the leaderboard. Because some of these leaderboards now are at a point where the entry level just to get on the 100 slot is like very hard. So I think weekly and monthly ones are probably a good thing for the longevity and healthiness for new players of the game, to give them something, a leaderboard they could actually achieve. Let's just say that. So I do approve this. I think it's a good suggestion overall to add some sort of new leaderboards to the game. Number 9, add gifting to the game. So I sat and thought about this one for a good while, right? And I can understand where the suggestion, you know, comes from, right? It's kind of based around like the trading, gifting, helping each other out, helping your friends out. And that's all good, and we want to help our friends and family out as much as we can. If we can, you know, afford a gift, a game pass, and give it to someone that can't, that's a really nice, special, positive thing, right? So is trading someone to help someone out. But the thing that we have to understand is these are actually pretty significant systems for any game. It doesn't matter what the game. When there is a gifting or trading element added to a game, it often changes the atmosphere. I keep hitting my mic. Changes the atmosphere and the feel of the game. And I feel like Giant Simulator is such a great grinding simulator. Really at the heart of it. And allows us as players to set goals, achieve goals, get stronger, feel stronger, and the community is such a great community already that I don't think adding gifting or trading is actually a beneficial thing for this game. Maybe for a different or new simulator where that's part of the game and the game is developed around that initially, then that's what the game is. But Giant Simulator has never been that, and that's really not the outlook. And I don't think that the inclusion of gifting or trading would be healthy long term for the game. I think it would definitely change the atmosphere of the game, period. And I don't think it would be an atmosphere that a lot of people would be favorable for once it's there. So ultimately, if there's a way to help others, maybe the introduction of other systems to allow you to group up a party or something, that kind of thing might be a better way to go than just straight up giving someone something. So that's my take on it. I'm actually going to decline this one. I love the idea of gifting and helping out others. I just think that it definitely changes the feel of the game, and I don't think that's something that Giant Simulator should have. So that's that. Number 10. Add sell all unlocked, as it can get annoying selecting 96 pets to sell. That is correct. I think it's super annoying too. There is a bulk sell button, and that was a step in the right direction, and it's awesome. You could click it, go on and check whatever you want and sell them. Beautiful. But why not just have a button also to delete all unlocked? So you could scroll through and just choose the ones you want to keep by clicking it and locking it, right? And then just click down one button and it erases all of them. It's kind of like their game Dungeon Fall has a similar function in it. And this would be helpful for pets. This would be helpful for if you buy a mass bag of weapons, which you have 50 total. So if you go to delete 48, you know, it's kind of annoying. The same thing could work in weapons and skins, you know? We can first of all have a button to lock the skin, that first, and then to, you know, multi-sell or just delete all unlocked. So again, they already kind of implemented this and helped remedy the issue by adding the multi-sell button for weapons and skins, and also the bulk sell button for pets. So I do still think a sell all unlocked is the best way to go. I'm going to approve this one. Number 11, we're almost at the end. Update and improve the skill trees. So as we know, Giant Simulator has had the same skills, as far as I know at least, since the day it was implemented, I suppose. I could be wrong, I didn't play very early on, but as far as I know, these skills have always been here. And I could see how they were awesome skills and made sense in the early days. But now as we move and get stronger, and, you know, again, the game is evolving, I think the skills need to be tweaked just a little bit. Now, I'm not saying they need a complete overhaul, although I do think allowing the player to have more of a selection in what skills exactly they want to really focus on is probably really a cool thing in the end. But I could also see how players can make mistakes as well, so just keeping a one lateral uniform system is probably the best overall, and that's fine. But, you know, there's a couple on here that are really sick, right? XP gained, obviously we love it, and on the bottom, gold gained. Obvious, these are like just great. We all want to improve our XP and gold gain, and skills to do that, solid. Speed is a pretty good one, especially when you're starting out, but even as you get remotely a little bit strong, this starts to lose value really fast. And if you just get like good period, you know, like remotely good, this actually is like, feels like such a dead skill. It really needs to be changed to something else. I don't think increased speed is really needed, at least in this form, unless the speed threshold is changed again, which could help with arenas. Talking back on that point. Now, because we get in the billions and trillions of speed now on the top end players, I think really the spectrum then has to basically increase, right? Whereas up to a million or whatever in the past, million was the highest, let's say, I think that's the case. And, you know, you were the fastest ever if you had a million, which at that time was really hard to get. It took a while. Okay, then the speed gain really helps the lower players. But now, like, players are just achieving those. We're basically getting capped before we know it. and this is useless. So long story short, something needs to change here. Either the skill needs to be axed out, it needs to be redesigned, speed itself needs to be readjusted, and the same thing goes for max size. Because when I get level 4 billion, and I'm the same size as someone that's level like 2000 outside, it kind of loses its luster. I think the sizing mechanics also need to change as well, to be quite honest with you. So I think the skills need to be updated. Critical Strike also is one that's like, it's great until you hit the 100%. And then it becomes like mediocre, where what is this really doing? I think Death Dealer simply can just be changed from increases crit chance by 72% to increases damage done by X%. Right? It's solid. It's something that will continue to grow, continue to be useful. The more percentage you have here, just the more damage you're going to do. Bam. So those two need to be changed. I agree with this. And let's move on to number 12. So we're finally here at number 12. Simply enough, Easter event? Question mark. So since we're at the end of March and Easter is a little earlier this year, being April 3rd, I believe. So it's like the very first weekend of April. I got a feeling that the game might have a nice Easter event or something like that coming up with spring. Now, the reason I say that is because we had a pretty awesome winter event. And nothing since, right? Now, I got a feeling there's something in the works, and I really think that the developers like putting in these limited time, more festive events. And us as players, I think, appreciate them because it changes the scenery, gives us some unique, limited things to collect. And that really is the critical part. When that stuff comes in, you see the player base spike up. Like, there's hype around that stuff. Getting limited, new stuff, seeing a little bit of a new landscape, you know, that's all great. So I think it's perfectly acceptable that there wasn't a Valentine's Day event or a Clover St. Patrick's Day event either, because we had that last year, right? So the game would get stale if every year you're just like, yeah, Valentine's is here, there's an event. St. Patrick's is here, there's an event. So I think it was intentional. A big long winter event, which was an awesome event, by the way. Then they introduced a new map, new mythic skins. They've given us some bonus banner events, right? Double gold XP, now we have double soul gems and quest points. And some other quest point feature to give us 100% resources to that. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on. There's Xbox functionality for those of you console players out there. I still gotta give that a shot, actually. I keep forgetting. But the Easter event, I think it only makes sense there'll be a springtime or Easter event coming up. I think that's in the cards because something is due, right? Giant Simulator is a great game to invest in if you were the developers for it. And I think they'll probably want to push something out for the fans of the game. So I think that's likely, but we'll see, right? Only really Mithril Games and the development team know for sure if an Easter event will come. I hope one comes, right? I could imagine going around the map instead of collecting orbs, they're Easter eggs. That would be really cool. Also might have something to do with that badge that we discovered quite a while ago. So I'll put it right here on the screen. This badge right here. So you found the egg in the Land of Giants. So maybe this has something to do with an Easter egg hunt. Maybe Giant Simulator is part of the Roblox Easter egg hunt that should be coming up here. We will find out soon enough. So I think Easter event is likely, and I approve it because, you know, if it's one thing I really do love, it's limited time special events that give new collectible things, limited items. That's something that I really love. I love collecting limited items and having a collection of stuff. It's great. Makes it fun. So that's all I have for today. This was a long video, as the suggestions always are. You know, to talk for each suggestion a couple minutes, it just takes a little time. Hey, I don't know what to say other than what I did. So I always agree with most of these. Some of them I don't, and I give the reasons why. So feel free to agree or disagree with me. Leave me your thoughts in the comments below if you do agree or disagree with any of these. But that's it. If you did stick with me this long, thank you. And it was a while, so thanks for sticking with me. And, you know, if you haven't already, why don't you go ahead and subscribe and smash that bell for notifications so you are made aware when the next episode comes out. Play all kinds of characters. I have my main character, Meet Department 9, which is number 3 on the highest levels leaderboard. That's the OP character of mine. Right up there, number 3. But I also play quite frequently now my free-to-play alt. You see a lot of that content come out as well, and lots of you have told me you really love the no Game Pass alt. So I have that going for you as well, among other things. I really appreciate you being here. As always, you know, congratulations. We have hit 6,000 subs, and that is all thanks to those of you that did smash that button. So thank you again. And as always, until next time, stay positive, keep swinging, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.